all of a sudden it's like every fucking car on the road has a dude standing, a dude or a few dudes standing outside their fucking car pointing guns at us. I got back from Canada and I called up Cedar, and because I pretty much just been hooking up through Cedar since I had a falling out with Nick. Cedar comes over and I'm just like, oh man, I just saw the Beastie Boys up in Canada and blah blah blah, and I got this killer KT weed up there, and he's just like, you know people in Canada? And I'm all, hell yeah man, my buddy fucking George, and I met these other guys and all this, and he's like, let's go to Canada right now. So at that time, I think he had warrant, or no, he didn't have warrants, but he had a bad record. I had a bad record, and a bad record to Canada is like drunken driving. Like any criminal, anything in Canada's just not gonna let you in. Unless you're a refugee and you claim refugee status. Like if they outlaw weed here in the United States, I'm gonna go to Canada as a weed refugee. If we go back down that road again, see ya. I get back. Cedar's got this little buddy he's hanging out with, this little kid that's clean as fuck, and he's got a decent car. So we don't even take money with us. We just take like a few $100 each, head up there. So we go right up to the main crossing point there in I-5, and they pull us in because we're three young guys and two of us have long hair. They run our shit and send us back. And when they did that, they were nice enough to tell us that, well, the kid could come in. We had heard rumors about the border and stuff. So we're like, fuck it. We're up here. Let's go drive up the border and see what it's like. So we go drive up. So we're driving east, and it's just like you literally have a ditch. It's this little 1x1 ditch, and then like grass strip. And that's the border. And then in some places, the Canadian side, the road will just stay constant, like, so it's like a border, and then a road, and then a road. But then sometimes that road that runs right next to the border cuts down like around some people's property or something. And where it's like border, I mean, it's straight and it's like wide open, and you can just see whatever, right? So we opted not to go into that like total obvious just jump across thing. Plus, our guy needed some time to drive through. So he drops us off. We run through the raspberry fields, is what it turned out to be. We wait in the bushes until he freaking comes after he gets out. And you know, this is before fucking smartphones and before mapping shit. I mean, maybe that Garmin thing was out or something, but so the point being is this kid had to drive through, got to go drop us off, drive back up through, and then come back and find us. And he didn't get too lost. It didn't take him too much time. So we're sitting there in the bushes. We're waiting for this kid to show up, and we're like, damn, this was easy. He picked us up, and we went up into Vancouver and hooked up with George and Huey and Dewey. And we basically were like, hey, if we have a bunch of money, do you have a bunch of weed? And they're like, yep. We didn't stay long, and we came right back down home. I grabbed up my dough. Cedar grabbed up his dough. We hit the dough. We went right back up, and we elevated our game a little bit. So now we got like SWAT gear on and shit. And I think we used the same kid, or maybe we used Cedar's girlfriend, Tara. Oh was hot. We got up there right away. This was all within like a week and a half of me getting back from the Beastie Boy concert vacation. Like, it just went from blowing glass and doing that whole thing and ramping up and ramping up and ramping up and hitting that Hep Fest and getting that money, and then going on vacation, and then this like, oh, this is where the money's at. And what the deal was is, at that time, weed prices had started coming down a little bit because of Canada. But when they really peaked out and all the Mexican was flooding up, I mean, paying $4,800 a pound. And the guy fucking say, oh, I'm giving you a deal. I sold them, like to doctors and lawyers and shit down in California for $5,200, $5,400 a pound. Oh, gee, thanks. $300 an ounce, straight up. Worth more than gold at the time. An ounce of weed was worth more than an ounce of gold. We hook up and come back down, and basically the theory that I concocted to get back down as safely as possible was to use 2 cars. So we could use 1 car to get up there, but then we used 2 cars to get back. So we would have a car drive from Portland up to that road on the border. We would get dropped off by the other car up in Canada, up like this horse park, and that had like woods, and then there was a hill down, and then the border, and then our raspberry fields, which we liked the raspberry fields because there was only this short time that we were visible to looking down the whole road. And that's when we would just pop over into the raspberry fields. But we would literally sit up up at this horse park and watch 2 or 3 other loads go. So we knew that any heat was going to be on them. And then we'd go. Oh, and then there was another layer. We would stick everything in that car that would drive up from Portland. We would stick it all in that car. We would wait for our other car that dropped us off to come back down and pick us up and then take us. And the logic behind that was that a car full of people looks a lot more suspicious than just one chick just driving, just a chick by herself. Like, well, what could she have done by herself versus like, what a whole, 2 guys in the car with her coming, oh, those guys, where'd they come from, So we did this and it worked good until it didn't work. So we had progressed up to like these little, I think they were called Nextel cell phones. Had a lot of options, right? So you could so they had an ear mic, walkie-talkie, so you could just talk to somebody directly somehow. I think skipping the cell lines or some shit. I'm not quite 100% sure. So we had those to communicate. We had night vision goggles. We were fucking just suited up. We're coming back one time. At that point, we were using this dude that we met through George. His name was Jason. Jason was a very bright guy. He was our driver. He had a BMW. We're all suited up and crossing the border. We dump the stuff into the car. It goes. We get back in the bushes. Cedar was on probation, so he couldn't smoke weed, but I wasn't. So I sparked up a joint, and we sat there in the bushes and waited for our fucking pickup. So Jason comes down, he picks us up, we jump in the car, and he's like, damn, they fucking pulled the car apart at the border, fucking blah, 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 blah. And we're like, oh shit, lame. So I'm sitting in the back seat. Cedar's sitting in the passenger seat. We're going on these, and it's super, like the sun just came up. Super early in the morning. We have, there's like traffic. There's like a lot of cars out there this time of the morning all of a sudden, which, you know, we're not really thinking a lot about. So there was a car that kind of like, we jumped in and then there was a car behind us. So we turned onto this road, and then Cedar's fucking brilliance, right, is like, to get this car that he thinks is a cop, maybe, so he's not behind us, we're gonna not stop at this stop sign. And we're gonna fucking blow in front of these other cars that are coming this way. So those cars are in between us and that car. Every fucking car was a cop. They were all cops. Every direction. It was fucking staggering. Like 20 or something shit, man. So all of a sudden it's like every fucking car on the road has a dude standing, a dude or a few dudes standing outside their fucking car pointing guns at us. And I'm like, oh fuck, I'm dead. I'm in the back seat. I got my hands up, but it's like a little car, like my hands aren't really up. And then so they're doing the whole felony stop, you know, one at a time, get out, and I'm last, so I'm just fucking like, oh my god, they're gonna kill me. And you know, then the worst thing happens, like, okay, open the door. I open the door, and then I put my arm up out of the door, and the door goes open, 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 and then starts to close again. Now, I have to make the decision. Do I pull my arm back in the car so it doesn't get hit by the door? Or do I let the door hit me? And honestly, I can't remember exactly what I did. I think I pulled my arm back, but like pulled it in and like pulled it like in and out like the window, or kept it up or something, like, look, it's not going for a gun, please don't kill me. We don't have guns. It's been years since I carried a gun at this point, I think. So anyway, and I would never shoot at cops anyway. So that's not the point of the gun, was to protect me from the burglars. And then it didn't even work, so anyway. So, I get out, handcuff us up, they put us in the back of a car of a dude, right? And so, this dude is a customs agent, I think, because there's so many, I mean, there's like DEA and customs and border patrol. I mean, it's just a fucking zoo. They put us in the back of the car and we're just playing dumb, like, what did we even do? You know? We didn't do anything. And he's like, well, the law is this. You can cross the border anywhere you'd like, as long as the first thing you do is report to a customs place, the first thing, which they're all right on the border, so you literally have to like cross the border, go somewhere, and then go back, right? But he told us this, right? And then I go, and we haven't driven past one of those things, because I knew they didn't have anything on us, right? I had this big old jacket on, and it was like a military jacket, like a Russian military jacket. Like it had like a crotch strap in it, where you could put that crotch strap up, and then you could scooch on your stomach backwards, and the coat wouldn't pull up over you, and it hung way down like a dress, like it was a winter. So that was just my gear for crossing. And then my passport was in this pocket with a joint. And I was sweating that joint. So I'm like, oh fuck, you know, I got the joint in my pocket. That's like a fucking smuggling charge or some shit. So I'm freaked out about that. And then, so they take us to the little shack thing, or the office thing, and they fucking separate us out, put us in different rooms. They pull us out one at a time. So before we got to the little shack, they pulled over like down the street at like a fucking vet's office or something, and they had a gravel parking lot. So they just pulled in there really quick, and they ripped open the trunk, and they started going through everything. And the guy fucking, we're all on handcuffs, 3 of us in the back seat of the cop car, and then there's a cop driving the BMW, and then they pull in there, and they're searching it, and they fucking, this cop rips open the door and goes, "Where's the dope? You've got night vision goggles." I mean, just like that. And we're just looking at each other and we're just like, "We know what you're talking about, man. We're having a dirt clod fight." And this cop just slams the door. "We'll see about that." So they fucked that BMW up back at the station. They like took the whole fucking dash apart. And that's just stupid, because they just searched the fucking thing on the way through, and then they pulled us over 5 seconds later. How the fuck would we have put some shit in the dash? That was just fucking being a cunt. Being a fascist cunt. Yeah, that's what you are, you DEA bitches. Right? So, when they pulled me out to question me, I had taken off my boots and just laid down on the bench and went to sleep. I mean, it was like fucking 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning. I had been up all night, fucking physically, you know, moving shit across the border, big heavy duffel bags. Bulky, I should say, not that heavy. I think we could put about 20 pounds in these big ass hockey bags. We were lugging like 2 or 4 across at a time. They pull me out, and I'm just walking in my socks. It's like, he just woke me up. I'm sleeping in my socks. My boots are muddy and really uncomfortable just to kind of kick it in. So they take me into this room, which is this huge ass fucking table, like a giant conference room. I mean, it was ridiculous. It was like out of the movies or something. There were so many cops, filled the whole fucking table. So they didn't feel like they needed to put me in cuffs for this whole thing, which was nice. So I immediately kicked my feet up on the table. That pissed them off. They're just asking all these questions and this and that, and it's like our story is dirt clod fights. Like literally, like we've been up and down the West Coast and in all kinds of fields, and yeah, those fields just have the best dirt clods. They just hold together the best, and they throw the best, and just fucking bullshit, you know, like fuck you, cop. I'm a dirt clod warrior with night vision goggles on the next level. You know, we fight with dirt clods. We don't fuck around with like paintball guns. Dirt clods and night vision goggles. Yeah. So, you know, they keep this up, right? And I'm sick of it, you know? I'm like, I'm not a fucking snitch. I'm not gonna snitch on myself. And you fucking cunts woke me up from my fucking nap. I don't want to talk to you. I don't like you. You're fucking fascists. I don't like fascists, you know? I mean, you're either fascists or you're fucking idiots. I mean, if you're too stupid to understand that you're a fascist by enforcing fascist laws, then I guess you're just an idiot. My bad. I'm like, hey, you guys want to make some money? I'm looking around at them, the whole table, and they fucking are just like, the looks on their faces and the feelings that were coming out of them, because I'm an empath, I knew this shit, was like utter confusion and like bewilderment and just, is this guy gonna fucking bribe like 14 cops right in front of each other? Is he a fucking lunatic? So I go, hey, you guys want to make some money? My buddy is throwing a birthday party for his daughter, and he needs a bunch of clowns to show up. Ha! Fuck fuck you, get him out of here, you're fucking blah, 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 right? I'm just laughing. Stupid motherfuckers, yeah, you ain't shit, dirt clod fucking fight, motherfucker. You know, I'm an ornery motherfucker. I speak truth to power. A cop's just a fucking person that's got a fucking dickish job. So, they put us back in the fucking holding cell for I don't know how much longer. I probably went back to sleep again. So we wake up, they let us go, they give us our shit, and then let us out the door. And we get outside the door and we're walking around and we're like, where's the BMW? You know, we had a car you arrested us in for no reason, that we didn't have anything except night vision goggles, which they kept. All the night vision goggles, all the cell phones, every fucking piece of electronics, they kept. They sent us on the road. We're driving down the street, I reach into my pocket, and there's my joint. They didn't find it. Believe you me, I smoked that motherfucker right there. As my homies would say, I faced it. We drove down, we pulled over, used the payphone to call driver so she wouldn't be blowing up the cell phone. Where you at? Where you at? I got all this weed. What do you want to do with it? Got back down and proceeded to fucking blow the fuck up is what I did. And it was Donkey Kong AF. The deal was the money up there. I think I sidetracked off this earlier. So the weed was super expensive in fucking Oregon, Portland, like super expensive, like trying to buy pounds if they weren't, like if it was local grown or whatever, people wanted $4,000, $5,000. Fucking, sometimes it was wet. So now all of a sudden you had Canada, which the exchange rate was like, you give $1, you get $1.50. So I go up there with 1,000, it would turn into 1,500. I could buy a pound for 1,500 Canadian. So after exchanging the money, you know, there was a huge profit margin. Take it back to Portland, sell it for fucking 3,500. Be making, you know, over double my money. Double money, double money, double money. Do the math. Rich, 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 fun times.